very grateful for the honour of saying a few words at the opening of this really very special gathering. I have talked to Pauline and to Elaine about maybe some of my remarks, and I thought it would be helpful as well, maybe just to set a little historical context for visitors, just about Derry and Donegal. And really, there has always been a wonderful link between the two counties. And indeed, St. Columkill, who was born not too far from Letterkenny, founded his first monastery in Derry. And Derry has always had an international perspective. And it was impossible to live in Derry and not to be engaged with the wider world. And we're very proud of the fact that it was from Derry, along the Foyle, that Columkill went to Iona and founded a monastic settlement there, which some people have referred to as the Athens of the North. Indeed, Iona then went on to found Lindisfarne, and then they moved on to mainland Europe, where you have these wonderful monastic centres of learning during the Dark Ages. So it's a wonderful history to be part of. And indeed, we saw in the last 48 hours the Book of Kells, which may have been begun in Iona and perhaps finished in the monastery of Kells, being admired by Queen Elizabeth. It's hard to believe this beautiful piece of illuminated manuscripts can still be admired over 1,000 years later. So, Derry is a place of history and art to have had the privilege to be born into. And of course, modern Derry was itself a hotbed of political activism and art. And again, it was impossible to grow up in the Cregan, or the Bogside, or the Brandywell without being conscious of the wider world. And some of the great people who played important roles in bringing about, the change that we've seen come from Derry. John Hume, and influenced very much by Gandhi and Martin Luther King. Martin McGuinness, whom you will meet tonight, was indeed a young revolutionary. Some people would equate him with our Michael Collins. And then one person I think that hasn't really been valued, and just an idea I'd love to throw out here as part of the 13-year culture, I think it's Eamon McCann. People may not always agree with Eamon's politics, but the one thing about Eamon is a man of enormous integrity, and he's never changed over the years. But at the age of about 2021, Eamon wrote a book which is a modern classic. And I think in Derry we must not forget this, called War in an Irish Town. And I remember talking to a former British Secretary of State, Mervyn Wade, about the Dublin bombings a number of years ago, and he told me of how influenced he was by that book. And I think we really need to rediscover it. And I think we need to get him to record that book for future generations. Not just a book to be read, but a human voice needs to articulate it, because if anyone wants to understand the roots of the Northern Troubles, I think that's just a perfect introduction to it. And again, in Derry, it was impossible to exist in isolation. I mean, the events of Bloody Sunday, for example, which I witnessed as a child, one inherited equated to the My Lai massacre, to Sharpeville, to Lindisfarne. So people had a wonderful global connection with the world. And of course, this conference today gives us an opportunity to engage with people from around the world. And, people from different communities, traditions in Ireland, all about enriching us and helping us to become bigger, I hope, and better people, because of embracing our diversities. I had an uncle who was a missionary priest. In fact, he's very ill at the moment, and because I had come to believe that violence was not the way forward, but we needed to be engaged in the social activism that would bring about change, but how to do it, and of course Don Miller was someone who was known as the voice of the voiceless. And there's a wonderful book written about Don Miller called The Violence of the Peacemaker. And Don Miller, again, I learned of him in Derry, and just extraordinary. I learned a lot of skills in Derry as well. I have an enormous sense of gratitude, even though I now live in Dublin. But those formative years were so important. And in some ways, for visitors who are engaging with the Derry Playhouse and ICAN for the first time, I think are going to see many of those strands of influences that touched us all. And I learned of the importance of books. I book is Bloody Sunday. It's not my book, it's a community book. And I've always said that the work that I did was building on the work of people like Nell McCafferty, Dr. Raymond McLean, Eamon McCann, all who wrote about Bloody Sunday before I did. The power of my book is that it's packed with eyewitness statements. And someone, and I've never been able to find out who the genius was, and it was a genius, came to Derry and said, get your people to write their memories immediately. And so what you have are hundreds of eyewitnesses all saying the same thing, but it's very fresh and it's very vivid. And of course it was those eyewitness statements which over 25 years later helped to undermine Widgery and helped to bring about the longest running and most expensive inquiry in British legal history. And I think that while the Savile inquiry had many faults, we never would have expected. I think the graciousness with which David Cameron delivered his apology on the 15th of June last year, and I think it was one of the great healing moments that we witnessed between the two islands. And we're living in extraordinary days. We need what's happening in Dublin at the moment and in the Republic of King Elizabeth. Who could have envisaged that happening 10 years ago? So these are extraordinary times, and it's just wonderful to see people coming together. We still have a lot of challenges, still have a lot of miles to go, but we're making progress. I learned also the importance of theatre. There's a walk that I created, which is still ongoing, and in fact it will happen again this Saturday. No one involved in it, but it was to do with commemorating the 150th anniversary of the Great Hunger in Guatemala, the Great Famine, from Dulac to Louisbourg in County Mayo, an actual walk of very poor people. But it was always about not just remembering for the sake of the past, not remembering for the sake of bitterness, but rather taking our memory and applying it in terms of trying to bring about change and solidarity in a world today where too many people live in hunger and deprivation and who also are denied their basic civil and human rights. And that walk to me is a piece of theatre. And it's amazing, once the walk would begin, you had no control over it. And just the conversations that were going on, the exchanges, the sharings and so on, really did affect change. And my old colleague Joe Murray stopped it at one stage, but yet people come back and said, no, we want this reinstated. And I hope this walk will continue for decades to come. Art, public art as well. I mean, one of the projects that Paul just wanted me to mention was there will be a resin statue which will eventually become a monument. It will be the first monument in Ireland to an African American, and it will arrive from Liverpool on Saturday to be put in place permanently for President Obama to admire of the great Frederick Douglass. And again, it's a symbol around which we will develop a huge educational and cultural exchange. And my hope is that it will be a memorial that will lead to a wonderful connection between the great diasporas of Ireland and Africa in America, as well as great exchanges between Ireland and the United States. And again, one of the things about this monument as well is that in recognizing the role that Ireland played in a himself not only played a seminal role in helping to end slavery in the United States, but he is recognized as one of the founding seeds of the modern civil rights movement. And for that we owe Douglas also a great debt of gratitude, because our civil rights movement was inspired by the black civil rights movement of America. So maybe you can look out for that in one day. Hopefully you'll see President Obama paying his respects to Douglas at this particular monument that we're doing. I'm also working with the bauxite artists. We're going to do a gable dedicated to Toussaint Louverture, the great Haitian Revolution, the Black Napoleon, and what the French did to Toussaint is utterly disgraceful. The desecration of his body. I've been to Fort de Joux where he was buried and where he died of pneumonia because of the racist policies of Napoleon. And the hope is that we will help to rehabilitate on a global scale Toussaint, because Toussaint is not just a Haitian revolutionary, he's a world leader demanding respect. And this, of course, is about helping Haitian people to recognize their importance in the world as well, at a time when they need human solidarity, not charity, human solidarity, because the Haitian people were great leaders and were the first Black Republic and the first people to end slavery. And then photography as well. Tonight you'll see an exhibition that I put together. It's the first exhibition in the world by an amateur based entirely on the mobile phone, and I have to express great gratitude to Nokia Ireland for giving me support, because I told them that there were a number of projects that I was developing, and they actually gave me support so that I could record my journey. And those projects, and I'll finish with this, include a Flanders peace field to do with the 1914 Christmas truce. I think one of the very few moments of hope during the First World War. And during Christmas Day 1914, British and German soldiers actually played a game of football. And I've gone out and I've located where we believe the game of football took place. It's very close actually to the Island of Ireland Peace Park in Flanders. And we're going to develop a Flanders peace field for young people from all over the world, conflict areas in association with the United Nations, where they can come there and through sport explore issues around development and peace and human rights. I've had the great privilege of working with Pelly as well on the Pelly Legacy Project. I don't want to go into all the details at the moment, but just again exploring how sport can be a wonderful catalyst to oppose racism and create awareness of justice and human rights. Working on the Destitute Peace Centre and so on. There's so many projects, but look, this is going to be a wonderful few days. I think you're in the presence of really very special people, and especially those who put this together. And I think I'll finish off by hopefully giving you a laugh. And I dedicate this to Victoria, because there was 3 possible jokes. I see you there, Victoria. And Victoria's hoping to tell this one. And I'll finish off with this. There was a publisher who had an idea for a book, and he called together 4 writers, one from Germany, one from France, one from Italy, and one from Ireland. They said, I have an idea, but I'm not telling you the idea, it's a bit crazy, but if you commit to doing it, I will underwrite you for a year to do the research, and at the end of that year, I guarantee you I will publish your work. So that was very hard to resist, so they all agreed. So he said, now the idea is go away and research and write a book on any subject you want related to the elephant. So off they went. And a year later they came back with completed manuscripts. The French writer had written a book on 1,000 ways to cook an elephant. The German had written a book on 1,000 practical uses for the elephant. The Italian writer had written a book on 1,000 ways to make love to an elephant. And the Irish